welcome back to my channel. Yeah, today is Wednesday and we all know it, spooky animation. But let's start off by saying hello. Thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Daniel. I'll be your host, your guy in a chair.
Guy in the chair.
And for today's spooky animation, it's the Crying Man. Spooky animation about 1C, or however you pronounce his name, but enjoy.
Back in high school, I was a school bully. Now, I'm a grown-up. But I still regret those days. Well, more specifically, what I regret is not about being a school bully back then. My regret originates from a terrible memory, which I'm going to tell you about now. In those days, I and my friends, Tom and Blake, used to hang out together and bully others. And there was one classmate, in particular, we victimized the most. I can't mention his name here, but we used to call him the Punching Machine. We often punched him and asked what our score was. Then he rated us, and we continued to punch him until each of us got a higher, more satisfactory score. He was a big guy, about 6'3" tall, who used to be beaten by others. Even after we became adults, we often went to him and bullied him. One fall day, the sky looked exceptionally blood red, and it has bled into my memory as the day. While we were bullying him as usual, he suddenly put out his hand, saying this: "It feels like I'm gonna cry. Please stop it, or I'll cry and all of you guys will be dead." It froze us for a second, but soon, Tom burst into laughter and said,
If you cry, what? We're gonna be dead? Yeah, maybe. We are gonna die laughing, you dumbass.
Then Blake said, "Uh-oh, seriously? We have never seen him crying. Let's make it real today." Then this dude roared super loudly like a big lion, and his tears started falling to the ground. It was the first time we saw him crying. His shoulders heaved like crazy, and he breathed in and out so heavily, like it was almost penetrating into the ground. When we realized he was getting enraged, he suddenly pounced on Tom and choked him. Tom struggled hard to escape from him, but he was no match for him at all. He squeezed Tom's throat with incredible power, and Tom's eyes were about to pop out of his head. Then he threw Tom against the wall. Tom slammed into the wall and just passed out. I thought he might be dead because Tom hit the wall so hard. He now started at me, and I looked to the side. Blake was already running away. I started shivering from top to bottom in fear, walking slowly towards me. He said, "My mom said no one can stop me once I cry, so she's never gotten on my nerves. Neither has my dad."
Oh, he's talking about
Suddenly,
money.
pausing for a moment, he started writhing in agony and pulling out his hair. Then he said in a low and cold voice, "I'll give you 3 seconds. Run for your life." His eyes already turned into a murderous. His pupils were red as if smeared with blood. I thought I had to run away, but I couldn't move my legs. Before I knew, he was already right in front of me. He suddenly lifted me up without any difficulty, just like picking up a basketball or something. And he hurled me down on the ground. As soon as I was thrown to the ground, I blacked out for a bit. After a while, I heard a police siren. Yes, Blake called the police. I opened my eyes and saw him. He was looking at me, standing still. He was still crying. He didn't run away, although the police siren was getting closer. And when he found me opening my eyes, he threw a punch at my face. I couldn't breathe. With his continuous punches, I was getting knocked out. He said, "You want to live? Then stop my tears." There was nothing I could do but tremble in overwhelming fear. At that moment, the police finally arrived, and they told him to put his hands up, but he ignored them. and spoke in a low mumble, walking heavily towards the police. No one can stop me when I cry. Even police can't. The police shouted urgently. Stop, or I'll shoot! But he didn't stop. Instead, he rushed the police officer just in an instant. The officer immediately shot a taser at him, but he didn't stop, even though he got tased. He picked up the officer and threw him. Then another officer ran to him to arrest, but he was also knocked down to the ground by his powerful punch, just like a piece of wood. And finally, with a bang, the sound of a gun, he stopped. After about 3 seconds, his knees touched the ground, and soon he fell to the ground. He was lying on the ground with his eyes wide open, not moving anymore. The officer checked his pulse on the neck, then sent the other officers a hand sign. He's dead. My vision was blurred, but I could see the police officers running to me in a hurry. I felt like this was all a dream. No, I rather wished it was just a dream, but it wasn't. Since that day, I have emotionally suffered so much from this memory. It completely changed my personality. I can't meet anyone. I'm cooped up inside the house all the time. It has been already 10 years. Although I'm getting better little by little, this trauma still affects my whole life. If I see anyone crying, I can't stand it, and I just run away. There was also a time that I fortunately had a girlfriend, but when she cried, I ran away, like an insane man. After some time, we just broke up. Many years have passed, but I still can't overcome this trauma. Remembering that day still makes me shudder, just like a helpless tree, fluttering.
Hey guys, I hope y'all let that be a lesson. Don't go around bullying people. I mean, why bully somebody for fun? It hurts you more as much as it hurts them, if not more. Because they're the ones getting the attention and stuff. It's not needed. Let's all get good messages from this video. Don't bully others at all. But you just to the part where if you liked it, drop a big thumbs up, comment down below if you want to see more, and then subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified every time I post a new video and share. Bye.